Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. A little bit of a change of a show this morning. We're going to do transfer show because I think to talk about what Solskjaer got wrong against Wolves, it's unfair to depress people. We'll bring a little bit of that into this. But I want to start off with some transfer news. Jesse Lingard, James Maddison, this sort of breaking last night. Man United looking at an offer for Maddison. I'm very cynical about this, but what I want to say straight away is that our camera guy last night after the game was assaulted by a Manchester United fan. I'll be giving you the details of that in a moment because I think it's very, very sad. I don't want to turn it into a them against us thing. We're Manchester United. We're meant to be united, and I think it's very sad that fans are attacking fans because they don't like what a fan channel stands for. Yet your football club's owned by people who are dragging us into the sewer and own us on debt. But you won't sing about them, will you? Because you don't want to lose your tickets. But you attack fans who are passionate about what's going wrong at the club. I think it's really, really wrong. I think it's really sad. But I think we've got the best support in the world, and I'm going to stand by that. Away fans as well, and some of these people are part of that, but they want to divide us. I think it's really, really sad. We'll talk about it in a minute, though. James Maddison to Manchester United, £45 million plus Jesse Lingard. I've seen the jokes. Basically, it's £45 million then. This is never going to get off the ground. I mean, I was joking on Twitter this morning that it's like me going to the local co-op for a bottle of milk for £1, and I give them 50p and a dancing toilet brush. They're not going to take it. They want the pound. And James Maddison is going to cost around £80 million. They're not going to sell him in January. I find this story everything that's wrong with Manchester United. I mean, look, we have a poor performance last night. We didn't lose, that's a positive, but that second half was dreadful. Interestingly enough, a friend of mine I used to work with, I think he's in his 50s now, so he's no spring chicken. He's a Wolves fan. He was at the game last night. He messaged me and said that that's the second worst performance he's seen at Wolves this season. I don't know who the worst was, but it's not very telling, is it? We weren't the worst he's seen at Wolves anyway, but second worst he's seen at Wolves this season from a team playing Wolves. And he said that it's hard to know who the manager of Manchester United is because he was sat near the dugout, and he said you've got Carrick, McKenna and someone called Dempsey. I think we know who Dempsey is, shouting, and Ollie's not doing much at all. So that's from a Wolves fan. I can't verify that other than I got the message about that. But the point is, Manchester United are not doing very, very well at the moment. We're not doing well, and for all these fans who want to pretend that we are and sing whatever they want to sing about Ollie and the team, there's a lot of people unhappy, and they've got every right to be, because there's a far bigger picture at Manchester United. Let's move it away from Ollie, because I always am sympathetic to Ollie. I think he's out of his depth. He's not got the experience, but also his bosses are useless. And, you can be the best electrician in the world, you can be the best plumber, you can be the best builder, the best accountant, but if your boss is not giving you tools to do the job, you will fail. And with Ollie, we haven't got the best electrician in the world. He's an apprentice, and he's still got a boss that's bad, and it makes it very, very difficult. But these stories about James Maddison in January, they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. It's like getting your Christmas presents for Easter. It's a waste of time. It's the wrong time. James Maddison can't come to this club until the summer. But we are here in January, at the start of January, talking about James Maddison to Manchester United. It's not going to happen. It's just a story that we've seen countless of since the Glazers come in. It used to happen with Sir Alex as well. You get these irrelevant stories that people are meant to get excited about, but don't get excited about anymore because we've read the story before. It's a load of nonsense. 45 million plus Jesse Lingard for James Maddison. Even if we give 80 million for Maddison now, they're not going to sell him in January. And they're definitely not going to take Jesse Lingard. Brendan Rodgers is a good coach. He's not even been there a year, and he's turned them into a top 4 side. He watches football. He's a good coach. He ain't going to look at Jesse Lingard and go, oh, that's a good deal, bring him down. Jesse Lingard is not going to be a good footballer at any top 6 Premier League side because he's not a top 6 Premier League player. We know that. So this story about Maddison for Lingard, it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I hope it's been made up by the Mirror or whoever's giving them the information, because if that's coming out of the club, which I doubt it is, it's just a nonsense. And it is a nonsense. And we need to sign players now, not fantasy stories on a Sunday morning when, you want to be getting something that's credible. I don't care if it's some Thomas Partey or Emre Can. I can deal with that because that's around where we should be. But James Maddison for Jesse Lingard, come on. It's just a waste of time. It's more of an irritant than an excitement, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm not happy about that. And also with Lingard, can I just say, I've been told a long time ago that Lingard's contract's ready to be signed and effectively is signed. They're just not doing it publicly because people will go mad. They're waiting for him to score a goal or United to have a good run of fortune so they can release the contract at a time where people aren't going to go mad. So the point is, Jesse Lingard doesn't want to leave Manchester United, and not, you know, not necessarily. Look, if you're Jesse Lingard, you've got a clothing brand, you're a big Adidas ambassador, you're making loads and loads, you're very popular social media because of Manchester United. You go to Everton, no one's interested in you, so he's desperate to stay. He's probably desperate to stay because he wants to play here, but also from a lifestyle point of view, it's very important that he stays. The only people who get rid of Jesse Lingard are Manchester United, and I don't think they want to. So I don't see anything in this story, and I think his contract will get announced soon. Rio Ferdinand's come out. I mean, look, Rabiot was mentioned, and this is nothing to do with Rio Ferdinand. Juventus have confirmed that Rabiot will not be moving in January. So again, I think that's a fantasy midfielder again. Rio Ferdinand has spoken about what he would bring in. And I think Rio Ferdinand, I like Rio Ferdinand, he's a legend of the club, much like Ollie, but do I want him at the club? No. What's your credentials? You're a BT Sports pundit. I've seen nothing in your coaching history. I think you were going to do a bit of boxing. Now you want to be director of football at Manchester United. And I think United would probably like him because social media-wise, he's very appealing. But again, when are we going to stop falling into these traps of, oh, he was a legend, give him a job? I don't want Manchester United legends to get the jobs at Manchester United unless they've got a pedigree. Edwin van der Sar at least has a CV behind him. Rio, Gary Neville, you know, Paul Scholes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick, they don't have a CV to take on the biggest job in the world. I would rather take Jim Smith, who is director of football for Juventus and has 20 years experience and being a director of football. He doesn't exist, by the way, but that I don't know who he is. I don't know who that person is, but I'd rather take that person with a CV to come into our job and do it than some ex-player who's just there for the, you know, appeal, you know. So Rio's come out and said if he was a, you know, United need to sign 4 players: Koulibaly, Fabian Ruiz, Almandra and Cavani. And everyone's got really excited about this. But I just think, well, look, Rio hasn't pulled that off out the top of his head. He's gone and done a bit of research on Football Manager and he's pulled out 4 players that's going to make him look really good. Koulibaly we don't need. We don't need Koulibaly. We bought Harry Maguire. We don't even need a centre-back. So mentioning centre-backs, to me, is silly. We don't need a centre-back. We've got Maguire, who we've just spent £80 million on. We've got Twansebi coming through. You've got Lindelof. You know, we've still got Smalling on our books as well if we want. We've got centre-backs. You know, if you're naming a centre-back as your 4 signings, I'm sorry, you don't understand what the issue is with United. We need 2 midfielders, a right winger and a striker, and maybe a full-back before we need a centre-back. Fabian Ruiz is a good signing, but, you know, I'm going to name 3 better in a minute. Cavani, I mean, as a short-term player in his 30s, I mean, again, I don't agree with that. And Almandra Augustin from Boca Juniors, I think that's just a wild card. Look at me, I know a bit about world football. I'd be a good director of football. I think Rio, quite rightly, is selling himself to the club, saying, look at me, I can do this job. I don't think he can. I don't think he can. He's got no credentials to do it. We can't keep employing ex-legends of the club. We need to employ people who know what they're doing, but we don't employ people who know what they're doing because the board don't want people knowing what to do because they want to run the club. But I'll name you 3 players that are better than Koulibaly, Ruiz, Cavani and Almandra straight away. So Woodward, give me the job because I'm going to spend you less money. I don't want 4, I'll get 3 in now. I will get Partey, I will get Bruno Fernandes and I will get Timo Werner. They're all of them around their mid-20s. So they're not old like Cavani, and they're all better than Fabian Ruiz, Almandra and Koulibaly, because one of them's not a centre-back. Bruno Fernandes, we should have bought in the summer, and Thomas Partey or Emre Can. You know, so, you know, give me the director of football job, or more importantly, give it to one of you lot, because, you know, it's just silly. It's silly. All this Rio Ferdinand for director of football talk, nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And let's not forget, Rio Ferdinand is the man who said that Mike Ashley's doing a good job at Newcastle. Rio Ferdinand is the man who toes the Manchester United line. So, you know, again, you're just employing a legend to come in, settle into a seat and be dictated to. And that's not what we want. But we're not going to get what we want anyway, are we? Let's be honest. Talking about Harry Maguire, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying that he was running around with a limp yesterday, and he said that we were thinking about taking him off at half time, but he battled through it, and we'll have to see for Tuesday. I'm in 2 minds here. A lot of people have said, well, here is the inexperience of Ole again. Manchester United, Harry Maguire's been playing non-stop, like twice a week for 4 months. At some point, he's going to get injured, and as soon as he has that injury, we should have took him off. You've got Phil Jones on the bench. I think with Phil Jones, what are we doing with Phil Jones? We gave him a 5-year contract. He's been fit for the last month. We've had game after game after game. You know, by the end of January, United will have played 17 games in 60 days, averaging a game every 3.5 days, 17 times. And yet we're playing the same players all the time, and we moan when we get injuries. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm stunned by it, to be honest with you. I really am. I think that that is absolutely stunning. But yeah, look, with Harry Maguire, if he does pick up an injury and he has missed the Man City game, some people are saying we should have took him off. He shouldn't have played. He should not have played against Wolves. Like, it should have been Phil Jones. I don't like Phil Jones, but when you give somebody a 5-year contract and pay them 100 grand a week and then you don't play them, and you keep playing your centre backs and they get injured, there's no sympathy with that, is there? But whether he should have come off or not, I think the damage is done. I think whether Harry Maguire comes off when he feels the first twinge or whether he plays 90 minutes, yeah, well, maybe if you take him off, it's a lesser injury. But again, he just doesn't want to give Phil Jones game time, does he? So it's an oddity to me. But look, Manchester United, for me, yesterday, second half, I thought they were poor. I watched Ricky's fan cam in particular, and he said that he thought that Matic played superbly well and Mata. I have to disagree, but this is what it's all about. I thought Matic in the second half was atrocious. I didn't even really notice he was playing. First half, they didn't press him, so he had time on the ball to play forward passes. As soon as you press Matic, he disappears. But on Josh, our camera guy, getting assaulted last night, I just want to say this. It's ridiculous. There's a lot of bullshit going around again. Lies. Apparently we're run by a media company. I set this up 5 years ago from my living room. Anybody who was watching the channel saw it. So who is this media company? I think we know that there are other outlets there who are run by media companies. And there are people out there who are frauds. And I think that they are spreading these lies about the United Stand. Because the United Stand, I don't care what anybody says, it always has been and it always will be a fan channel created by fans to give fans opinions. And if these people who don't like what we're saying want to come on and give a fan cam, then you can. But they don't want to. They just don't like it. It's a dictatorship. They don't like it. So they start using violence and threats to try and stop something, which is giving everybody a voice. You've got Ricky and Sophie last night saying, happy with the real, saw some positivity in it. You've got some people saying it's one of our worst results. It's called democracy. It's called different opinion. But people have got a problem with it because apparently we're making money off the club. Manchester United give us no money. We're not charging you to watch our content. Our revenue comes from YouTube and things like that. We go to Kazakhstan. We go on tour. You know, we're the only fan channel that goes to every game. Europa League away, no matter where it is. So this is a witch hunt. It's a bitch hunt. And it's based on lies. And it is based on suppressing Manchester United fan opinion. Because these people think they're better than us. They say things like, well, where were you 3 years ago? Well, no, we didn't do fan cams 3 years ago. But are you telling me you've got a hardcore squad that checks every United fan for the last 20 years and you know who's been going for the last 20 years or not? You don't. It's basic, what is the word? It's tribalism. It's archaic. It belongs in the past. It's not diverse. Telling people that they can't do something because you think that you're better than them, but then you won't say it on camera because you're scared of being exposed for what you really are. Why can you not accept you love Manchester United, we love Manchester United, and we want Manchester United to get good again? Because I guarantee you, if we were all winning trophies, you'd be dancing on the street as well. The reality is, all this toxicity, all this division is coming because of the poor performances on the pitch. Why are the poor performances on the pitch happening? They're not happening because of fan channels. They're not happening because fans are ollie out. They're happening because of who runs that club. And I know that the singing section at Old Trafford, or the away fans, why do they never sing about the Glazers? Because they'll get their tickets took off them. So you're so vocal about fans having their opinion, yet you won't sing anything about the club because you're scared of losing your ticket. Well, you know, that's up to you. But you won't have your say, so don't moan about people who do have their say, because it's somewhat flawed when you are totally blind to why Manchester United are where they are. You just want to go to games, get pissed up, have a good time, that's great. But we ain't winning trophies with this ownership. So attacking fans who are saying that makes no sense. You're not going to stop it. You're not going to stop it. And what you need to do is grow up accept that we've got the best fan base in the world, accept that you're a massive part of that because our away support is superb, and start opening dialogue with United fans as to how we improve our football club instead of sending it in further into the gutter by fighting amongst each other. The reality is I don't care if someone's Ollie in, Ollie out, Glazers in, Glazers out. I don't care. I've got my opinion, but this is a platform for people to have theirs. If it was a dictatorship on here, I would remove anybody who has a different opinion to me, and I don't do that. Look at the fan cams. Somebody last night was saying Matic was superb. I said he was trash. I'm not bothered. It's their opinion. That's how it works. But assaulting people, threatening people, come on. You know, realistically, you are basically trying to suppress United fans having genuine opinion on their club. Suppress us so that the money men can keep spurning out theirs. You are basically foot soldiers to the money men, and that is really sad. You are foot soldiers to the Glazers, and that is really sad. But the door is always open. But all these lies and nonsense about being owned by media companies or not proper fans, it comes across as basic and jealous, and ultimately not what Manchester United's all about. People are passionate at the moment about where this club is going because they love the football club and they see the problems of the football club, and it goes way higher than Ollie and the players. And if people don't understand that, then, well, you know, just don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it, but you're not stopping it, because by stopping it, you're allowing this club just to lurch deeper and deeper into the cellar, away from where it should be. Fans have got to have a voice. That's the way it is. As long as it's diverse and as long as you're covering both sides, which we do, then that's the way it's going to be. I think it's really sad. We're Manchester United Football Club and we're attacking each other, but you're justifying it by saying they're different to me, they're not like me, they're not United fans, they don't look like me, they're not from where I'm from. Well, that is a very dangerous thing. That is a very dangerous way to live in a diverse society. Thanks everyone for watching. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not spreading hate towards these people. That's not how I work. That's not how the United stand works. The floor is always there for them to call in, to go on a fan cam and have their say. And if somebody wants to do that, we'll put the video up. But you can't keep spreading lies and violence. You can't do it. That guy was arrested last night. What good has it done him? Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon.